I hope you can hear me, and I say welcome to our online coaching today. We were still waiting for Massimo, but I hope he will join us in a minute. So let us start with our meeting. I don't know if you can hear me, I hope so. We're not going to test all the microphones now, but if you have a problem hearing me, just write it down in the chat or try to speak and let us know. So again, welcome to everyone to the online coaching, the second online coaching of the Build Your Future program. And we're going to focus today on the module 1 and 2. And we have some great things that already happened in the different communities, in the different countries, and we're going to hear about them. And I'm going to just give you a quick idea of what how we wanted to structure this meeting. So we wanted to hear a little bit about the different countries. In Romania, for example, Judith has delivered already 2 of the modules. In Italy, Massimo also has started with a module 0, and I also think a module 1 in some places. Lorenz in Germany had a first entrepreneurship lab, and also a module 0 to introduce the course. And in Slovakia and UK as well, there has been the delivery of module 1 and 2 in Slovakia, and in the UK, the module 1. So unfortunately, Slavo and Geraldine couldn't join us today, and they will send more information on the online platform, but me and Tanya will tell you a little bit about what has happened there. And then we go into some questions and answers, and wanted to also give you the opportunity to ask us questions about content-related issues, delivery related issues, and also to Tina. Tina is with us, of course, and so if you have specific questions about the modules you just delivered or you're about to deliver, this is an opportunity. And Tanya, you can't hear me? Okay, so we Marco cannot hear us, but we will continue anyway, and I hope he will join us later, but we are recording this anyway as last time. So let us start with the first testimony of Judith. We just tested her microphone before. Judith, welcome, and could you tell us in 5 minutes maybe what has happened so far in Romania? You have delivered 2 courses already, and I put here 2 questions. Maybe we could structure it in a way that you tell us 2 things that really worked very well in your first deliveries of the module 1 and 2, and 2 things maybe which were a bit difficult. We unfortunately have only 1 hour, so I would ask the different speakers to speak just 5 minutes. Yeah. So Judith, if you have a camera, maybe you want to turn on your camera as well. If not, let us listen to you.
Okay, thanks, Johan. Hi, everybody. I try to tell you some, just a few things about these 2 modules. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, as you told us, we had 2 modules in Romania with 20 of people. Personally, I enjoyed it very much. I hope that they also. The first one was in October, and the second one in the end of November. So, 2 things that worked well. I can say that motivation works well. I think fortunately I have this ability to motivate people because I need it very much. Our people are really smart, even sometimes too intelligent, with really big expectations, and a little impatient because in their opinion, there is too much time between modules, and they are waiting for practical tools. It was a small problem at the end of, not problem, but we talked about this issue at the end of first module, because it was a little too theoretical, even if the fact that I tried to make it really interactive and with exercises, etc. So they have big expectations, but finally I think that I could motivate them and to make them to be more patient. I told them about the structure of the project again. I told them some things about modules 3, 4, and 5. So they are interactive and open, and they ask me to, and so this is one of the challenges, to be more and more interactive, to make them, to pull them out from their comfort zone with a bit really big challenges, practical exercises, and something like that.
Right.
And another challenge, that I have to be more strict in moderating them, because they are really interactive, and a few of them a little too noisy with strong opinions, and they have so much to tell that it's a really a good feeling for all of us in general. I think it's a big challenge for me also.
Right. Great, Judith. Thank you very much. I just, when I listened to this, we discussed this challenge of being a lot of time between the modules, and we had two possible solutions to fill this gap, which was first was homework and exercises to be done in between, and also to organize these entrepreneurship labs in between. Did you manage to use these tools to fill the gap?
Yes, all of them. They have now, for example, homework, making the yes, yes, they have a homework, and we have 2 incubator meetings between the modules,
All right. Great. So you invited local entrepreneurs?
Yes, two of them anytime. Between 2 modules, there are 2 incubator meetings.
Right.
We had until that 4 meetings.
Okay, great. Great, Judith. Thank you for sharing. Also, thank you very much for using the online platform. We're going to come back to this later, but we have to motivate the others to use it more intensively. You, Judith, and now are the people who are mostly using this for now. So thank you for that, Judith, and we will ask the others to use this more. I would like to talk now. Do you have any questions, Judith? Maybe.
No, thank you very much. This is enough.
Yeah, later we have a. All right. Sorry? Later we have a question session anyway.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Super. So let us go to the next country. We have here Italy, and unfortunately Massimo is not with us. He actually enrolled for the meeting, but he's not with us. I hope he's gonna join later. Marco, can you tell us a little bit about what has happened in Italy so far? Since you're the only Italian in the meeting right now. Ah, he had a problem to hear us early on. Okay, Tina says she has new contacts with Judith, which is great. Okay, we're going to move to the next country, and then hopefully Massimo will join us later. So we go to Germany. I had the pleasure to actually go myself to this one, and I would ask Lorenz to actually tell us a little bit about what happened in Görlitz. There was a module 0, so an introduction to the Build Your Future program and the first lab. And Lorenz, could you tell us a bit what happened? And again, 2 things that worked, 2 things that were challenging for you?
Yes, I can. Hello, all. Can you hear me? Is it
Yes.
okay? Yes, okay, right. Yeah, as you see at the picture, upstairs, up there is a guy with a microphone. He is some kind of my new partner in the project. We had some changes, and this was some kind of challenging. But yeah, we did like a module 0, so a tester where I explained the content of the course. You see it done. That there's some workshop situation with chairs, and yeah, it was some kind of challenging that there were only 4 or 5 people coming. I expected more, but for them, the workshop worked very well because they get much more into what the course should be about, and they are quite motivated to be in the course. For others, we used all our communication channels to find people to join the course, also the people from the survey, but we had not that much feedback on the whole thing, and I'm still out to find the last people to sign the course. We have a signing date next week at Wednesday, and then hopefully there will be some more people. I hope there will be 10 or something like that. Yeah, that's it. Maybe what was good is that we right started, and now it's clear who is in the team, and that we also took the time or take our time to do this with the tester. And also it was great to be at the conference last week in Barcelona with Tanya, a PA youth worker today. That was a great input also for this entrepreneurship things. And challenging, as you see, is in some kind of recruitment and how we can communicate the course, because for most people it's too complex. And sometimes I also think maybe it's a bit too offensive to come up with, okay, here's the place where you can develop your ideas. And sometimes I'm wondering, and that's also a question to the whole group, if you think maybe it could be good to communicate like subjects or some fields where we can work on. So for example, we are searching for new ideas for Görlitz or something like that. I don't know what you think about it, but that's some kind of still challenging me. Okay, what is the right communication for getting the people we want to have in the course? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Lorenz. So the biggest challenge seems to be to have a group which is big enough to run the course, and in terms of strategies to recruit people, I think there's a lot of liberty and freedom for all of you. If you have to change the discourse to get the people into the course and to make it more Görlitz focused, like you're looking for young people who want to participate in finding creative ideas for Görlitz, I don't think it's a problem. I think that is where everybody has to also play with its own creativity, and what works in Görlitz might not work in Romania, and what works in Italy doesn't work in the UK. I mean, this is where, of course, we can listen to other people's strategies, but if this is still an issue some weeks down the road, I would be really happy also to hear from other people to share their strategy. So, do you have any questions so far, Lorenz? I think, yeah, this one, yeah. Great, thank you for sharing, Lorenz. We still don't have Massimo in line. And we have two countries here. We unfortunately also have, we don't have Slavo with us today, but shortly what has happened, and of course I can't tell you details because I wasn't there, but the module 1 and module 2 have already been delivered in Slovakia. They have a quite big group there, I think 15 to 20 people, and they also have organized at least 1 or 2 entrepreneurship labs and invited some local entrepreneurs. What I will do, and what I already did actually, is to ask Slavo to really share his experience on the online platform, to send photos, to also explain a little bit what has happened, what has worked well, what have been challenges so far. Unfortunately, he can't tell us himself today, but you will definitely get this information. And as I said, I already asked him to do that. There was also a first module delivered in the UK. Tanya, you got this information from Geraldine, so maybe Tanya can tell us a little bit of what happened there.
Hi, everybody. So I'm talking in the name of Geraldine. Geraldine is saying big hello to the group. She can't be, unfortunately, with us today. She's having some Christmas event at this time. But what she said about the course was that it went very well. They did first module in Belfast, and she's very pleased personally as a trainer how it was, and she's very pleased with the motivation of young people. They have integrated 3 visits of social enterprises in Belfast as part of the first module, and they have finished off with a play in a theatre which was social enterprise. And she said that young people absolutely loved this part and also going out. And so she also said that for module 2, they have a lab and a very motivational speaker. And then they are visiting the Christmas market in Belfast, which will give young people also some ideas, how to generate ideas. And so this is basically it, what she said. Challenge is, as I understand, to also have the group which is big enough to run this course. I think it is also the problem Lawrence has in Berlitz. There could be more people who are interested. At the moment, she has 9 people. 2 people have dropped out, and Geraldine is actively searching for replacement. So that's her challenge. And the second challenge is to get familiar with the online platform as a new technology for the course, which we are strongly recommending to use. But I think we will talk about this a bit later.
Yes. Thank you, Tanya. I have seen Massimo joining us, which is good news. Welcome, Massimo. We wanted to ask you to tell us a little bit about what has happened in Italy so far. I think there has been the delivery of a module 0 and also module 1. And to structure the 5-6 minutes you have, we wanted to ask you 2 things that really worked well and 2 things which were challenging. So could you tell us a bit about your experience as a trainer in Italy so far?
Yeah, sorry for being late, but my computer decided to restart for a Windows update, which took 20 minutes. But here I am.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, actually, we have just finished last weekend module.
Oh, now you're gone, Massimo. We can't hear you anymore. Massimo? Oh, he dropped out. we'll catch him again and ask him to buy an Apple computer. I'm sure he will join us again. I also see here we don't have pictures because there wasn't a delivery of modules yet, but I see Camilla in line. And Camilla, maybe you want to share a little bit with us where you are at in your process of setting up a group and preparing the first modules. Maybe you can share a bit about your experience.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah, Maeve is online as well, so.
Hi, Maeve. Yes, sorry. We can both.
Yeah, well, yep. I can start anyway, and if I miss anything, Maeve can kind of fill in. So it's going really well for us at the moment. It wouldn't have worked to have any modules before Christmas for ourselves, just with the people that we're particularly targeting. So we've put a lot of work into recruitment. So we've been working on that for the last few months. We had a taster session there on Wednesday, which despite we didn't have that many people showing up, we only had 4 participants, but it went extremely well. The 4 participants that came really engaged with the concept. We had a few, we've got, in terms of recruitment, we have we've 25 applicants in now, or 26 applicants actually, we just had one today. 26 applicants in. So we're going to, the next stage is to have a one-to-one with each applicant, just to ensure that just to kind of develop kind of a needs analysis of the program, and to ensure that the group is going to work well together, etc. And as well, because we're targeting a very specific demographic, we want to make sure that the places are going to the right people and things like that. And the session, the taster session, it did go really well. What we did was it was very, very brief. We just introduced the course very briefly and then ran through idea generation. So looking specifically at the North Strand area with the young people that came, what ideas could they come up with? And then we went through the process of, developing new ideas, mapping out the community, and then doing a SMART analysis to see one idea that they would all like to carry forward from the day. And obviously it wasn't expected that they would then go and do it, but just to give them a sense of how that process worked. And the feedback we got, even though there was only 4 of them, it was like a constant conversation. The energy was always high. So the feedback we got was that they were all very excited for the course, and so we're very excited now.
Super. Maeve, do you have anything to add, or?
Hi everyone.
Thank you, Camilla.
No, I think Camilla pretty much covered it all there.
Super. Thank you very much for sharing. And again, we hope to see more on the online platform. We will tell you more about this and how to use it more. And I see Massimo is back, which is great. Hi, Massimo. And Massimo, could you tell us, or try to tell us about Italy?
Anybody heard what I said?
No. Now we hear you.
But all my long speech.
You have to start from 0. Sorry.
You didn't hear anything?
No.
Oh shit! I'm speaking for 5 minutes.
Okay. Sorry. No.
Shall I start again?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. But from 0, you didn't hear anything from the beginning?
No. We heard. Okay. We delivered module, and then you were gone. We didn't even hear which module.
Oof. So in the middle, sometimes you say, okay, so I feel that there is somebody in the line. Sorry, we have a network problem, computer problem. Today is a unhappy day for computer stuff. Still there? No.
Yes, we can hear you, but
okay.
Yes, you have to start from 0.
Okay. So we have delivered module 0.
Yes.
Which was fine. We met a lot of youngsters in every site. It was interesting, inspiring, but very few of the people who went to Module 0 actually subscribed to the course. This was the taster.
Yes.
Okay. Then we did a lot of advertising through newspapers, web, the contacts that our local research coordinators and researchers did. This was quite successful because most of our participants are arriving through this network.
Right.
And from the press. Still there?
Yes.
Okay. Then we delivered Module 1 and 2.
Okay.
Module 1 was a one-day course in Fossano, in our co-working space. Module 2 was a residential. And they were quite successful. We were quite happy. Two things, I summarize what I said before. Two things that worked well. I think one good thing is that we have a very mixed group, meaning that we have from some intellectual guy who wants to open a blog about philosophy to some other guys who are more in agriculture and want to grow hazelnuts and produce local products.
Right.
Which is interesting because we mix the groups a lot. And a second good thing is that there is a good energy. We have all people who are interested, motivated, funny. I mean, I'm really happy to work with this group.
Great.
Numbers, we have some 38 subscribed people. And the participants last weekend were 24, something like that.
Right.
But we have some new entries and some people who went away. Also, another good thing is that few people retired during the first meeting because they clearly said, well, this is not what we expected. So they went away quite openly. It was a good feeling in a sense. No, it's very well done, but it's not what we wanted. Things that are challenging. One is to keep together the two levels, something that we knew from the beginning, meaning people who are there with a strong idea and people who are there just with a curiosity for the subject. But I think we are managing with that. Still is difficult. And the second connected to this is operational. How do we, to organize all these residential and stuff, organize people is challenging, but it's okay. Now, the thing which I noted before is how do we, for example, during all these modules, we have reflected, Bob, Sylvia, and myself, on what worked and what was to be improved. And I think that the learning that we have been doing in Görlitz and Zagreb has been very useful. But while we tested, we of course recognized there are some things to adjust or something we could have done better. So I was wondering if the platform is the place where we store this knowledge, or where we put this, or if we keep it by ourselves. How shall we?
No, definitely. I mean, there's a trainer forum, and for example, you do an exercise in Italy, and you realize this is the exercise how we have it in the book. I tried it; it doesn't work, and therefore I did it in a different way. This is how I did, and how I did it, and this is how I made it work. So this is very interesting knowledge to share, I think, in the forum. And in the evaluation reports, there's also specific questions about this. Yes.
Okay.
I added, for example, this week I came across an exercise in a conference, and this is not in the book, so I put it on the e-learning platform on the trainer forum. I shared it with everyone. So this is the kind of stuff we will come across, a lot of things during the process, and again, we really need to share about this, and the platform is the place to do that. But I come back to this in a minute. Thank you for sharing, Massimo. And I see Slavo actually joined us, so he can maybe tell us a little bit about Slovakia. I didn't expect him, but this is great news. And maybe Mirela, you can tell us also a little bit about Croatia. Slavo, could you tell us a bit about the modules you have delivered so far in Slovakia? Yeah, you need to unmute your microphone, obviously. I hope he can hear me. Slavo, can you hear us? Okay, let me try to unmute you. Oh, no. Okay, I can do it myself. Great. So, Slavo, you are unmuted now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly. Fantastic.
Perfect. Okay, so obviously you had to do it instead of me. Thank you very much, Jochen, for that.
No problem.
Well, wow, we have nice pictures. Okay. Yeah, we delivered 2 modules. We have already delivered 2 modules. It was great during the first one because, well, I was a little worried to work with mostly Roma group. Because we only have 3 non-Roma participants, and but it showed up that the motivation and the passion is so deeply rooted in them that it was just great. So that was fantastic. But during the module 2, it showed up what I saw during module 1, that there are big differences between the participants. There are some of them that already have their business idea. Mm-hmm. So they are eager to hear more and more and more, and they want to go into legal stuff. So how to actually establish the business. And right. On the other hand, there are people who still have no idea what they're gonna do. Right. So this is something I really have to tackle, and well, we all have to tackle it. Right. Okay. Just quickly, we talked about this situation before, and I'm very sorry for being late. I do apologize. No, don't worry. I think we can also discuss it one-to-one, how to tackle this situation, but we always knew that there is maybe this kind of splits in a group, and how can we actually foster one part of the group, or push them a little bit into more difficult or more challenging exercises, and then treat the rest of the group in a different way. So we are very happy to help you with that, and to advise you on how to deal with that situation. And I guess other countries will have similar situations as well. It's very difficult to have a group where everybody is really on the same level. Yeah. So maybe I'm sorry to interrupt you. Maybe yes. I just have one last thing, and maybe that doesn't please apply for other participants from other countries, but we really do have a problem with the online platform, meaning some of people just are not willing to work with it because one point is that they find it difficult, but we can overcome that. But the other is the internet connection itself, that not all the participants have the internet connection, and that's something what is very specific for Roma participants. Yes. We could sort of expect it. So I was just wondering if there is any other form how we could evaluate it, or whether I should keep on that and stick to that strictly. Well, I think my opinion is that we should try to ask them to use it, but obviously we already knew that some young people in Slovakia do not have internet, and that it will be difficult for this group. And we have to, the evaluation is anyway done by the trainer, so you can do it, and the evaluation of the group is done in the workshop.
so that doesn't interfere. But then, of course, how to get exercises to people, and in this case, I guess you have to do it offline, and maybe work with handouts, or do it without the internet. This is probably more a challenge for you in Slovakia than for the other countries, but it's very particular for Slovakia, I think, unfortunately. But again, we can also talk about it more one-on-one. Do you have anything to add? Oh, he dropped out. Okay. Hopefully he's going to be back soon. There he is again, Slavo. Can you okay. Slavo, I just said if you have further questions to us, we can also give you individual advice on how to face this. Do you have any other comments or questions?
I would say that they are pretty specific, so I don't want to waste everybody's time. So I think we can do it one-on-one, or I can write an email. And
fantastic, great. Thank you for sharing, Slavo, and
thank you.
Well done. I am excited to actually visit Slovakia soon in January or February. Mirella. You haven't delivered a module yet, but can you quickly maybe share your experience so far? Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Yes, we finally finished the recruitment and selection process. Mm-hmm. We were at the beginning. It was really there were no applicants, and so we did rather heavy advertising from Facebook ads, contacted all of universities, agencies, press, really everything. And at the end, we got some 40 applicants, and that was challenging. Wow. That was challenging to select the right candidates. Mm-hmm. But now at the end, it's really we are really satisfied. They are great. And we have a first module the next weekend, 12th and 13th, and that's the reason, because everything lasts so long, that's the reason that we have to change the date of first module, and there we'll have a first entrepreneurship lab too. And after that, we set every month one module. Then the second module will be in January, then the third in February, then in March there will be no module, and then third and fourth in April and May.
Great. Sounds very promising, Mirella. Great. Yes. I mean, it's a big group, 40 people. And,
No. We.
I mean, you had to select, of course. No, I understand.
Yeah, we selected. Then there is like 22. Mm-hmm. 22, and the first module will be tough, I think, but some of them will drop. But okay, not that we want. We will see, because it's rather big group, so maybe they won't be so motivated, all of them. But let's see.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing, Mirella.
Thank you.
And now we wanted to go into the questions about what you heard. Later, there's a question session about more content-related things, about the modules, where Tina is also with us, where if you have questions about the modules, you can answer them. But does anyone has questions to one of the participants or to one of the trainers? I guess you know how to unmute. I hope so. Okay, so far I don't see questions, but this is maybe a good point where, I mean, we wanted to address the online platform anyway, and we have sent an email a week or 2 weeks ago that saying or announcing that it is ready. It is ready now, and it looks great. The thing is now, obviously, it's we have to take the best out of it, and I really would like to engage everyone to use it to its best. Here we gave everyone a slot of 5 minutes, but of course you can't go into details. And as Massimo said, and also Slavo had some issues, this is really a place where we can, first of all, between trainers, where we can exchange far more in detail about, also Lorenz asked about strategies for recruitment, how do we deal with participants don't have internet. Massimo also mentioned some exercises which he actually redesigned to make them work in Italy. All this knowledge is very valuable knowledge, and we should share it on the platform. And there is the forum for trainers, where you can, between you should really share about your experience as a trainer and the delivery of the course. And then there's the European forum, where we can all communicate, where also the young participants can communicate between them, between countries. And then within each course, as you know, there's also a forum for the class or for the group, so it's the peers in the same group who can communicate. I think it's like always, if we as trainers are not using it, the participants will also not use it. So we have to give the good example, I think, and to try to engage. We can't force people to use it, but we can at least motivate and engage this. Again, this can be fun. This can be about sharing photos, sharing videos. I would really, now that it is ready, engage specifically the trainers to start using it, so the group can follow. And I'm also happy to answer any questions about this. You might have seen on the platform that I did it. I have hidden the module 2, 3, and 4, and only left the module 1 and 2 open. Now it's up to you to really hide the exercises you're not using. And a good example, unfortunately you can't see it, is in Romania. Judith already did it. So she has just left the 4, 5, 6 exercises she is using in that module, and the others she has just hidden them. And this is how every course really should look like, because this is what the participants, the young participants, see. They only see these 4 or 5 exercises the trainer has selected, and then it's also far less overwhelming for participants to look at module 1 with 4 or 5 elements than to look at a whole course, to look at a whole module with 20 or 30 things to click on. So really go into this, ask questions if you have questions, but it's quite easy to use, and it's really just about hiding things and leaving the things you want people to use. If there are questions, please go. And otherwise, this is about questions, would now like to see if there are maybe content related questions. So we have module 1 and 2 now in most of the places delivered, not all, but do you have questions to Tina, for example, in terms of content or even exercises or whatever it might be? So feel free to unmute your microphone or write it in the chat. Here's Massimo, a question. Can you share here the URL of the platform? I could try that, Massimo. Yes, Tina, maybe you want to... Here's the URL. Yes. I can't unmute you, Tina, unfortunately. Tina, maybe you want to say something. Oh, there she is. Hi, Tina.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Great.
I was taking notes, so I will, I don't know if my camera will work, but I will try it. So, allow, hold on. Can you hear me still? Yeah.
We can definitely hear you. But,
all right, well, I'm trying to make the camera work, and it's not working. Wait, there it is. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, the sun
we
is
can
behind
see you.
me.
Great. So you've been doing a mind map. Fantastic.
Yeah. So you can see I took notes on everybody, and this is everybody who, oops, over here is everybody who's here, and this is a rundown of what everybody said. So later on I'll scan it in and give it to everybody.
Super.
As a group notes. And this business model canvas for social enterprises is going to make everyone's life easier. I cannot tell you how lucky I felt when I found that. It's 30 pages, and some remarkable stuff is working on understanding who your customer is if you're a social enterprise. So it talks a lot about how corporations can be, that there's two general areas. One are the people who are buying your products and services because they need it, and the other one is because they want to impact.
Mm.
So this is very critical, and I think it will help everybody.
Great. Super, Tina. We will definitely share it on the platform.
Okay, great.
Definitely. And is there any questions maybe from the participants here to Tina or to us about content?
Well,
Tina,
I mean,
do you have any other comments maybe on things you heard from the people who have been giving their testimony about?
Yeah, I just think maybe we could do a nice matchup. Maybe we have Camilla and Maeve and Morella, who took this, the turtle approach, which is, slow and steady. Maybe they can advise the other people who are having problems with low participants. So maybe we could try to encourage some more peer-to-peer activity across the markets. And because Morella mentioned, several different strategies, as well as Massimo, of really using press. So if the other groups have not really worked the local media, maybe that would be, a good place for the other ones that are having problems with participants to do. And then, if they're already launched and they have smaller groups, you could do a second wave of recruiting and do maybe a mini course to catch up the people who weren't in the earlier segments.
Exactly.
And then integrate them later after they get an orientation. That would be a suggestion.
Yes, it's a very good suggestion, because it's also very easy to catch up with Module 1 or even with Module 1 and 2, because it's I would call them a little bit more light than the others, following ones, to the 3, 5. So definitely this could be an idea, even if you are in the middle of, if you already started to do a second round of recruitment, why not? Definitely.
I also would say that, think about what's making you happy. If you're happy doing the labs, then use the labs as a recruiting tool to network and create content that people can see or read about, and as well as recruit new people. So just keep, doing some of these other activities to make noise and recruit people, if that makes you happy.
Definitely.
Yes, Camilla, I'll pause.
Yes, Camilla?
Hi, Tina. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. just what you were saying there in terms of slow and steady and numbers. Just on that, we up until recently were really worried about numbers because we were getting applications in very distance apart. We started, I suppose, because who we're really trying to target are people that maybe are not, like, they wouldn't be in universities, in social circles. So we're trying to work with key workers and case workers to try and root them out. But what worked fantastically actually was by offering, so to everyone and anyone that we spoke to, we offered to give an info session on the course, because the word social entrepreneurial, it kind of went over some people's heads. There was huge kind of language barriers. Immediately they thought business, so they assumed we only wanted like this kind of like cream of the crop academic kind of I suppose class of person. But yeah, so for us to be able to, so we went into different youth centers. We just met with groups that would meet, you know, in cafes in the area. We went into schools, and we and into further education courses as well, and basically just talked to people, which really worked. From there, then we got a huge influx in the numbers.
Great. That's great. Thank you for sharing, Camila.
Yeah, and going to where they are is really smart. So where in Croatia, it's like Ireland, I suppose, and people meet up in cafe bars quite a bit. But I think also libraries would be good. I don't know about you, but also embassies, foreign embassies in Croatia always get requests for donations, materials to help different, let's say, excluded groups. So you might want to also partner with the embassies to get some traction, because they might be able to share with the people that are always kind of asking them for favors, and reach some unusual groups. Just as an example, you know, Josie, my daughter, is running her project, and we targeted orphanages. And I was really pleased. She has 20 participants in her project. That's not Build Your Future, but it is building a future for others. And we had 2 girls from the orphanage come. So these are adult orphans. So they're like 16 to 18 years old, but it's great that they are getting access to free things. So, you know, going to find them and going to the points of contact that really work with these excluded groups is very effective. So bravo.
Mm-hmm. Super. Great. Tina, maybe Judith mentioned a challenge early on. Maybe you have some comments on that. What do you do with the group when there are gaps? So you have a module, and we already mentioned there is the entrepreneurship labs, which can be organized as the homework. So her challenge seemed to be that people are impatient, and then if there are several weeks between the modules, to keep them kind of motivated and on the track. Do you have, from your experience, any maybe comments or tips regarding this?
Well, you know, it would depend on the person. You can either take a passive or an aggressive stance with these people. The people who are impatient may represent a small minority of the group. Okay, so you, based on their personality, you could go either way. If you're going to be aggressive, let's call it that, then you just acknowledge them. You say, I see you're impatient. Let's channel that enthusiasm. So just be as direct with them as they are being with you, and spin it in a way that you're knowing that they're impatient for a good reason. Because if someone truly has passion and they see a problem, that is exactly why they're impatient. Whether they see the problem inside themselves and they want to solve it quickly, or whether they see the problem in their community. So if you can acknowledge them, I think that's very important. And then managing their expectations. Get them to write that down. If you haven't, try to get them to mind map it. you know, and write the word expectations on a page, and then tell them, you know, what are their expectations of the other people in the group, what are their expectations of themselves, what are their expectations of their communities, you know, and then get them to like work out those issues. That may take 15 minutes, or they may need 45 minutes to let go. But, you know, don't ignore it.
Sure.
Because then it will never go away.
Yes.
And then the passive thing is to give them reading materials that talk about patience versus impatience and different qualities that entrepreneurs have in the local language.
Mm-hmm. Super. Thank you, Tina. Do we have any other questions or comments from the others? Maybe about some difficulties you're facing, some things you want to share. Judith, you unmuted yourself, so.
Yes, hi Tina. Just a few words to comment. Thank you for your comments, Tina. Now it just occurs to me that I gave them homework. For example, now the SWOT analysis, because they asked me to give them some examples from the other modules, you know. And I would like to say that for example, one person now he is making his company. He is one of persons who are unpensioned, for example, and asked me personally in a personal email to give him the business plan, you know. And I gave them the business model canvas. I have some models from some kind of business plans. So I try to resolve this issue personally. Any person who asks some kind of thing. Do you understand it?
Yes. Great, Judith. I think for that, I think Slavo mentioned a very similar problem where you have very big differences between people in the group, and I think this is where the trainer has to come in and really do one-on-ones and work with individuals or some smaller group in the bigger group on a separate basis, maybe, and give them some additional exercises, some additional homework, some more challenging tasks, maybe. And that is really up to the trainer to analyze this his or her group, and to really react to this kind of situations. And this is a challenge, for sure. But I think this is where, again, we can also learn from each other a lot, and where we can share and see how we deal with these situations. Yes, anything else, maybe on another question or comment from the group, or even or from Tina? Would you like to?
Well, I'm just, you know, I'm glad to help, and I just wanted everybody to know that they can, you know, write me an email, and I can, you know, I'm glad to help more if they need it, you know, with resources, because I have a ton, but I don't want to like flood without meaning, you know. So that's why listening to this conversation and taking the notes was very helpful, especially when we see that several groups are saying that there's a little bit of splintering of levels. So I would say that, in my opinion, if you have groups that are splintering, then these people who feel like they maybe don't have the confidence to put forth their own idea, then, you know, an entrepreneur cannot do their best job if they don't have a team member. So maybe the training isn't that every single participant leaves with a business plan.
Sure.
but that they learn, the people who do have business ideas and visions, how to communicate it on a team that they recruit. And then the people who become team members, even for the short term of the Build Your Future project, can then feel what it's like to have to manage a team. And maybe that is incubation for them later on to become a team leader themselves. So I think that the 2 tiers could be good.
Exactly. Yeah, this is definitely one of the solutions, that there can be teams which can be created in the group. And yes.
I think Camila just put a good comment there. Maybe she wants to talk about it.
Yes, Camila?
Yeah, sorry. I just said I might share that just when you're talking about sharing stories, and I suppose I just started a video diary there, I guess, because I'm working with Maeve. Like we're constantly bouncing off each other, but even just to kind of feel I wouldn't be the best writer, so when it comes to writing down my talks and that, but I found the video diary has really worked for me. I just take maximum 2 minutes after the different things that we do, just to say how it went, what happened.
Great.
And yeah, I just see Tina said you have a YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded, I've only done 2 so far, but I haven't uploaded any yet, but no problem sharing them.
Yeah, fantastic. That's a great idea. I mean, very often people for whatever reason don't want to write, or are not good at it, or whatever. There might be language barriers, and why not share a quick video? And that's a fantastic idea, Camila. Thank you. And setting up a YouTube channel is very, very easy. So we can give you tips on that if you want.
Is there currently use of these pictures that we have in this presentation on our social media page of the business of the Build Your Future Facebook page?
Yes, we don't have a Facebook page, but we have the online platform of the course. So
because maybe
yes,
yeah, maybe if there is a Build Your Future Facebook page, then everybody can be administrators and give a live content, so that could help with recruiting. So because one of the advantages of this program is that there'll be the meetup, and if they can see what's happening and other people and the other trainers, and you could do like a schedule where, okay, this week Croatia will do it, and Ireland, and then this week Italy will have the whole week because there's so many different locations, and then the next week we'll do it in the UK and Slovakia, and then it will be Romania and Germany, and then no one feels pressure except like once a month to post content, but they'll feel free to do it at any time they want, and that might be good for press and media and people in the community to see that we're a community of integrated cities.
Yes, I mean, definitely the idea was initially to have really people share on the online platform, but one doesn't necessarily exclude the other. And
right,
with Facebook,
because one is internal and one is external.
Yes, yes. I mean, you could see it as double work, but at the same time, I think also that Facebook does offer advantages which we don't have on the online platform, and people are very much used to use it on a daily basis. So we definitely will think about it, and we can set it up quite easily. Exactly, internal versus external. Yeah, exactly. This is great stuff. Do you have more comments or questions? We are approaching the end of the meeting, and if there are more questions or comments now, please ask them or tell us. And we, as I said, we are recording this anyway. We will share this, and I have one more comment or two. One was, yes, the online platform. I told you about it. Please use it. And then there's also the evaluation sheets. in each module there are evaluation sheets you can you have to fill in. It's quite easy to use. Judith had a problem, apparently technical one. I will look into it, but it's very easy to use online software. And we would really, it's really very important for you to after each module to fill them in. It's not a long survey, it's not a long questionnaire, but yeah, it's part of the agreement with the European Union, so we really have to do it. It's obligatory. And I think that was it from our part. We are already starting to prepare the green exchange here in Berlin with the people in Italy, and I'm leaving for holidays soon, so I already wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's very early, but to do that, but I benefit from talking to all of you to do it. And if you have more questions, comments, email, online platform, maybe soon Facebook page. So please share and communicate with us and with each other. And yes, online session next year. Tanya is telling me that we will send a doodle, and it will be in probably January. We have the next session, and yes. So if there's anything you want to add, please do it now. And I'm really happy about what I hear and see, and that there's a lot of stuff going on in all the countries. It's really great. You're doing a great job. I'm really happy about that. So thank you very much. Thanks for advice and suggestions. Great. So thank you and goodbye. Have a great weekend.